Welcome back, everyone. This is part 3 of the King's Castle. King James along with Where Chopin. And it's time now to get to the wrestling news of the week. And man, we've had a big week. First of all, Goldberg returned to Monday Night Raw, as we saw. He was the guest on the premiere episode of the Kevin Owens Show. And let's just say, as far as Owens and Jericho were concerned, things did not go as planned. Goldberg came out there and he said it doesn't matter whether it's Kevin Owens or Roman Reigns that wins the WWE title at the Royal Rumble.
They're next.
He's going to WrestleMania and he's going to challenge whoever that may be. Well then, the big man Braun Strowman gets involved. And he said, if anybody is going to win the Royal Rumble, it's going to be me. Then we saw, in an unprecedented moment, Goldberg and Roman Reigns spear Strowman at the exact same time. Blair, my question to you is this. Very simply, do you like Goldberg's chances at the Royal Rumble at this point?
I kind of do.
Why is that?
Because this is the story arc they're setting up, right? Because people had their doubts at first with Goldberg, as you did. He's 50 now. Is he going to
pushing 50, not officially?
He's pushing 50. Is he going to be the same guy that we saw in the late 90s, early 2000s? Who is the Goldberg of the 2010s? Is he the same guy? Well, he dismantled Brock Lesnar quickly.
In a minute 26 seconds?
That was proof that he was the same guy. And then he goes in this ring and he just messes up Jericho, messes up the little short fat guy, and
Owens.
And then it's just like it's showing that he can handle almost anyone in this field.
Well, the wild card, in my opinion, is Braun Strowman, because it's been no secret that ever since he broke away from the Wyatt family and came to Raw, that man has been on the warpath. I mean, last Monday night, in a last man standing match, he dismantled Sami Zayn.
Well, then that's a valid point too. If this guy is really on the warpath, like you said he is, then what would be?
Hold on a second.
What would be? Wow.
Hello, you've reached the king. Hey. Well, can I call you back in like 15 minutes? Sounds good. Thanks. Sorry, folks, that's an impromptu phone call. Cut!
No, we're going to keep going. This is a real show. So I was saying, the thing with Braun Strowman is that the WWE is really trying to push him, and he's really on the warpath. That you say is, what would be a bigger push over the top for him as a superstar than him manhandling Goldberg? So they could very well be setting Goldberg up to be like this invincible guy that he was in the late 90s, early 2000s. But if Braun beats him, the same Goldberg, that's a huge push. There's no bigger push you could get than beating Goldberg.
Well, see, here's the thing. What you gotta remember is the Royal Rumble.
I know the Royal Rumble's 30 people.
The Royal Rumble is not like a normal match.
But what if it comes down to them two and he throws them out? It's the same thing. It's still a push. If you conquer Goldberg, that's one of the biggest pushes. That's like beating Duke at home in basketball. That's like the biggest thing there is in wrestling to me. Because there's been nobody who's based their career off winning and dismantling people more than Goldberg.
Maybe so. You might be onto something there. But in another...
Or that could happen at WrestleMania, too. We don't know.
Yes, very, very much so. Because the wild card is Brock Lesnar is also in the match. So you know he's going to be on the warpath as far as...
I think Lesnar's in an interesting spot.
Why?
Because we all know Lesnar's situation with UFC and the MMA, that he's suspended for a year. So what does the WWE do with him? Do they want to make him? Does he still have the same appeal now that they can make him a champion and they can make him appear more regularly and that he's like more of a WWE guy and he doesn't have other interests now because he's suspended? Or is it the same old Lesnar? And does his star fade a little bit? Because I don't think there's the same hoopla surrounding Brock Lesnar that there was in like maybe 2015. I just don't feel like the fans feel the same way.
Well, I'll go one further on that. You say there's not the same hoopla as far as Brock Lesnar is concerned that was there in 2015. I think he's seen a significant decrease in hoopla ever since 2002. Because, let's think about it. When he debuted in 2002, he was fresh out of college, 25 years old. He climbed the mountain to become King of the Ring, and then he went on to win the WWE Championship in just 5 months. Then from there, he decimated superstar to superstar time and time again, up until he finally just left the company in 2004 because he said he was done and he wanted to pursue football. So, because of that, I think a lot of people saw his return in 2012 as a shock, and because since then he's become a part-timer, I don't really think he has as much hoopla as someone like Goldberg does.
Oh no.
Because he's been there longer, but at the same time, he didn't spend as much time away in between matches.
I'm just saying it's not the same like it was like after he beat The Undertaker.
Exactly.
Because he doesn't have that aura of invincibility anymore.
Right.
So, and I think, honestly, when he cut Randy Orton's head open, that was a turning point for people.
Now I gotta ask you this question. Paul Heyman said in an interview that we saw back in Charlotte that since Survivor Series, Brock Lesnar feels like he has something to prove, and that's why he joined the match. But do you agree with Mr. Heyman? Do you think the lack of invincibility causes Lesnar to have something to prove?
Yeah. He might push. I just don't know what the WWE wants to do with him. I think he's in an awkward spot as far as his career. So they could go for him regaining his invincibility again and pushing him for another title run, or they could say, "Hey, you're just kind of a gimmick we throw out there now, a mid-carder." I don't know what they want to do with him.
That may be true, and we will soon find out. But there's another interesting title chase that takes us all the way into the Royal Rumble from SmackDown, and we'll get to that right after this, so stay right there.